Okay, so as you think about your memories of the Carlton Complex Fire, if you have emotions that still carry trauma with them, if you went through a traumatic experience, check that emotion and you find that it's not calm still, this website is dedicated to helping you to bring calm to those emotions so that you can function better in the present moment and into the future. There's other videos on this page about how to use ice. I brought them in from my other websites. They're there for you for free. But in this website or in this video, I want to take you through the process so you can see it in action, you can use it for yourself, and if you find it effective, then you can spend more time here at this site. So if you're here because you have an emotion that is not calm about a memory that you still have about the fire, then I invite you to do this process. I invite you to pay attention to that experience that's not calm. Just for a moment, just observe it, observe what comes up. You don't have to dig for anything. And check on what the emotion is from this memory. Is it anger, fear, or sadness? Usually it falls into one of these categories. Or is it something else? It's an emotion that you're looking for though. Anger, fear, sadness, or something else. Identify that emotion. And you can stop and start this video as you go through this process if you want to. I'm just going to walk you through it so you can see how it works. This is based on the scientific discovery of memory reconsolidation. The part we're doing now is we're identifying the memory. We're activating it in your brain. Okay, so you've got the emotion. Now observe, it's not always this way, but in well over 90% of the people, if you observe this emotion now, notice if you feel it somewhere in your body. It might be your heart, your chest, your stomach, legs, might be all over, shoulders, might be in your head, your neck, your back. If you don't, that's fine, but if you do, you're locating a place where these peptides, which are the molecules that are storing this emotion of the memory for you in your brain, they're also storing it in your body. Right now you're activating that memory. If we didn't do anything, you come back to this memory a week from now, it's going to be exactly the same. But we're going to use this little ICE method procedure based on memory reconsolidation, as I said, to transform the emotion of the memory that you just identified. We call this the ICE method. First you identified it, that's the I of ice. The C of ice, I-C-E, is to move into a calm state. Okay, you stepped into activating the memory. When you move into the calm state, you literally are going to be producing different molecules based on feeling calm. And there's an exercise I use that works for almost everyone. You may have another way to get into calm, that's great. But just try this for now. Observe a single point. It can be either on the screen, something in back of me, one of those paintings, or it can be out in front of you, something in a house, or if you're at a library watching this, or outside, a tree, a point on a tree, an edge of a picture, whatever, just observe that. And by doing this, you are using your conscious attention to put your attention on something other than the memory you just identified. And I'm asking you and inviting you to choose a single point because it's very simple. You don't need to look at the screen, you don't need to look at me, just observe that point. And when you do, with your conscious attention, because you're observing something very simple, your emotion is now outside of the memory you just identified. The chemistry in your body is literally changing in this very moment. It's a simple task you're paying attention to. Your chemistry, your body, and your emotion is calming down. Okay, just observe this for a moment. And when you're ready, I'm going to ask you to observe a second point. So choose the second point again. You don't need to look at me. Choose the second point, not too far from the first. And again, observe it. You're doing the exact same thing. You're putting your conscious attention, by your choice, on something outside of the memory. What we're doing is we're getting some distance from it for a second, and then we're going to use the memory reconsolidation process to bring permanent calm to this memory that has the charge on it. So for now, we're creating a new chemistry, a chemistry of calm. You're observing the second point. Now when you're ready, I'm going to invite you to observe that between any 2 points is a space that has nothing in it. Okay, behind it is the wall or whatever, outside in nature, whatever's there, the blue sky. But you can imagine that between any 2 points is a space, and that space has nothing in it. I invite you just to observe that space that you've identified that has nothing in it. Now when you do that, you're doing something very special. You are using your conscious attention and you are observing that in your outside world there's nothing that needs a reaction. You're observing that there's nothing that needs a response for you in this little instant. And if you're recovering from the fire, you may have been feeling overwhelmed ever since that fire first encroached on your life and your property and whatever else. But now you're observing a space that has nothing. You consciously are observing that in this instant there's nothing that needs a reaction from you. And when you do that, your fight, flight, freeze, stress response turns off. And that's possible because there's no immediate physical threat to your life. If there was, you wouldn't be spending your time watching this video. Lots of things going on in your life, but now you just created a little space, a space of calm. Observe this space that has nothing in it. You will likely feel a subtle difference in your body. Different people feel different things. Note what it is, because you'll know when you're back in this calm space. And it's easy to get back here, and it's very, very useful. Okay, this is the sea of ice, the calm space. First we identified the issue that was going on, the emotion that you felt with it, the location in your body. That's identified. Now this space of moving into the calm space, changing your little chemistry that's informing your body and how to function. That's why you probably feel this subtle difference. Now we're going to do the E, which is exchange. You had this identified emotion that wasn't calm, created calm. You're going to exchange. You're going to put calm molecules into the stored memory. It's based on memory reconsolidation, a discovery in the year 2000 in the laboratory. And I've been working a couple years to create a process that will help people to bring calm to stored emotional memories. Dog in the background. Okay, so all you need to do now, when you're ready, is observe again the exact thing that wasn't calm. The exact thing that you identified. Not other things, because they'll still be not calm. But when you observe the exact thing that you activated, you now can bring these calm molecules and replace the emotional molecule that was stored before. Now in the rest of the videos on this page, there's a lot more information about how this works. I invite you to look at it. But I just want you to see how this process works. And you can just use it over and over and over again on whatever shows up that's not calm. There's a lot more depth and a lot more detail that I can offer and provide to you. But this will work for individual issues that show up that aren't calm. So observe back on that identified issue. Check the emotion that you feel. Now, in a number of cases, it's going to feel completely calm now. And it's strange, but true. As I say, I've been doing this for a couple of years with people. It's very common for it to feel calm. If it doesn't feel calm, observe what it is that's not calm. You will almost for sure notice that it's at least a little bit different. For instance, in the case of if there was a fire involved, maybe the first thing that you noticed was, I'm afraid for the safety of my family. Maybe the second thing you noticed was this sight of the fire department coming up. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it will likely be different. This process of memory reconsolidation it works very dependably. You're bringing calm molecules in actually to the synapse where the memory was stored and replacing the old agitated one. Check also how your body feels. Typically will feel more relaxed. Whatever you've identified now that's not calm in this next round, okay, for instance, as I said, you went from the fear of seeing the fire coming to then there's that emotion of when the fire department arrives. Whatever shows up next, you do the same process again. You identify it, right? In identifying it, you pay attention to the experience, exactly what's showing up. You don't have to spend long at this. You don't have to dig. Just take whatever's there. The next thing is you identify what the emotion is that you're feeling. The emotion is the important part. Is it anger or fear or sadness, or it might even be something else? And after you've done that, observe if you feel it somewhere in your body when you pay attention to this emotion. It's very, very common that you will, but if you don't, that's okay. You take what you've identified. Next, you move into the calm state. Now, how did you do that? You used your conscious attention. You made this choice. You chose a single point to observe. Then a second point. These are simple things. Your body chemistry is changing as you do this. And then you observe that between any 2 points is a space that you can imagine that has nothing in it. And when you observe this space that has nothing in it, you can observe that there's nothing that you need to respond to in this instant. And when you do that, your fight, flight, freeze, stress response turns off. You stop reacting to the outside world. And I've got more information on this in the other videos, but literally what happens is your cells transform. The 50 trillion cells of your body, or 100 trillion, whatever it is, transform from putting their energy on taking care of what's going on in the outside world to actually turning to internal physical needs that you have. Okay? Digesting food, getting rid of wastes, working with the other organs literally to get you into as healthy a state as possible so you can live as long as possible. This is the state of rest and restoration. When our fight, flight, freeze, stress response is stuck in the on position, our body always serves our mind. The body says, what do I need to do? And a certain amount of your physical energy is being put on taking care of the external world. But notice that even if you have a traumatic memory about the fire, there's nothing that your body can actually do about that memory right now, correct? Because it's a memory, it's in the past. And yet your body, when you identified it, reacted the same way as if it was happening right now. If you can bring calm to that memory so that your body doesn't need to react, you're going to have a lot more energy for dealing with whatever you need to deal with. If your energy is tied up in reacting to a past event, you have less available energy in this present moment for dealing with the present moment. So there's an enormous value in bringing calm to past memories. Now, as I've said elsewhere, I've done this for hundreds of people for all different kinds of circumstances, both emotional and physical, including even chronic pain. When you come into a calm state, when you bring these calm molecules and bring them to past memories and store past memories now with calm, it makes an enormous difference in your life. And after I learned about this Carlton Complex Fire, I just really got a sense for how much devastation and how much trauma must be happening. The fire is actually still burning here a couple weeks now after it started when I'm making this video today. I really got a sense that this would make a difference for a lot of people, for whoever's interested. And that's why I'm creating these resources and putting them on calmthetrauma.com. You can put this, if you've got a cell phone, you can put this on your phone, you can watch it, you can redo this process, right? ICE, identify, calm, exchange. Whenever you notice that you're not calm about a memory, or if something comes up as you're working through the aftermath of this fire and you find yourself having a strong emotion about something in the past, you can ice it right then and there. You can get really good at this. Okay? I provided videos on this page so you can do it yourself. I'm going to provide more of them as well, of videos of people who have used this process and they're feeling calm now. I'm also available on a pay-as-you-can basis to work with you live, either by phone or online or in person, and I'm available to do workshops in the communities that have been affected so that people can learn this method, this simple little method that's based on the science of memory reconsolidation, and bring calm to past stored memories of trauma, particularly around what's in the aftermath of this Carlton Complex Fire. Alright, so I wanted to give you this. I invite you to watch the other videos on this page for more information. But if you do the exercise at the start of this video, you're going to be able to bring calm into your traumatic situations that you remember from the Carlton Complex Fire. Alright, if this got forwarded to you, the website is calmthetrauma.com. Lots more information there. I'll be continuing to put it on as I work with people as we recover from this Carlton Complex Fire. Thank you.